Hello, I'm Azai. Welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia. So, the apocalypse is coming, but thankfully I am actually prepared for it. Like I said on the previous update video, I kind of knew we were going through a very dangerous path with all the, arrow scenes on those very erotic games. So a Dona video actually got me a strike, so I cannot upload for 1 week. So yeah, this episode is gonna be quite late. The fact that I just got back to recording again and then suddenly I got strike like that was such bad timing though. But it is what it is. I am not going to be uploading the video that gets striked from YouTube back on YouTube. I think that is also the reason why I think Patreon is a very good place for me to post all my, loot stuff. So in the future, for sure, a lot of the more erotic games will be 100% edited out for YouTube. And if you want to see them, they're going to be on Patreon. Link in the description as always. And I really do need to record more. It's very hard for me to, what is it? Right now there's really nothing at the Patreon yet, but I do plan on making it into a repository for all these videos at some point, right? And in case stuff like this happen again where I can't upload for 1 week, I can just upload on Patreon and then it'll be easily available. But yeah, I really just need to get to the rhythm of things and see how that works. Really hard for me to get into it yet. Because one, recording all those videos from back when is gonna take a lot of time. And two, my mind sometimes just can't seem to, it keeps forgetting to do it. That's definitely a whole lot of the reason. But alright, enough about that. I am updating you guys on that fact about the channel. We are, thankfully, only 1 strike at the moment. The previous strikes, the previous video that were strike, there were only warnings. And after 3 months are gone and I don't have another strike, I can thankfully the strike will be gone. But yeah, hopefully it doesn't suddenly bite me in the ass where YouTube suddenly wants to see all the loot parts of Dona and then I get fucked. But alright, let us continue on, shall we? I think we are actually almost done with the common route for Grisaia here. What was the last event we were seeing? It's been, I think, 1 day or something since I last played this. So let's take a look. The game is pretty low, by the way. Let me actually up that up. There we go. Yeah, the game is actually pretty low. I actually don't remember what settings I have for the game. So sorry if it's actually pretty low or pretty high. Do tell me in the comments because I've been streaming again, and streaming and recording is really weird. I use the same software, but it just doesn't seem to work in the same way. The audio balance is not the same. Alright. Ah, okay, I remember. It was, I think, Michiru being subdued by Machina. I actually did not like Machina from that exchange. Alright, let's continue though. The school doesn't employ a gym teacher, and yet our curriculum includes regularly scheduled physical education periods. It's said that late in the course of a certain war, a dearth? The hell is that? A dearth of instructors meant the intensive training of new conscripts was truly worthless. What the fuck is that sentence even mean? It was continued mainly to keep up appearances. Similar motives probably apply in this case. I have no idea what that actually even meant. That sentence, a dearth of instructors meant the intensive training of a new conscript was really worthless? What the fuck does that mean? With no teacher, this class is of course educational in name alone. Essentially, it's no different from the recreation periods we were assigned at my previous school. We're simply given independent drill time in which we're free to pursue whatever exercise we deem necessary to maintain our physical condition. Alright, I'm going for a run. Anyone want to come along?
このクソ暑いのになんで走んなきゃいけないのよ。バカじゃないの？
ランナーズハイも度を越せば中毒症状を起こすそうよ。気をつけて。
Oh yeah, whatever the fuck you mean, Yumiko. As someone who never ran for her life, I doubt you actually know what the hell is that runner's high. I actually experience that quite often because I exercise often. So yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like because I exercise now, I feel a bit offended when someone says something that makes them a smartass like Yumiko right here. But it is what it is. I can't deny that not everyone is into exercise. So you get a pass right now, Yumiko. Look, you guys, this is gym class, okay? Would it kill you to at least change into more appropriate clothing?
私は
Yeah, I know, Sachi. It's a maid uniform specialized for physical exercise, right? Good enough. How about the rest of you?
でもうちのジャージってかっこ悪いのよさ。だからあんまり着たくないのよ。
Don't be spoiled. Compared to the baby blue sweats JSDF recruits get, it's downright fashionable.
まあ仕方がないんじゃない？ランニングなら私が付き合ってあげるからさ。
I think it is pretty loud though, so let me lower it a tiny bit. Maybe that much. You're not wearing the right clothes either, you know?
いや、さすがにこの年であのジャージは着れないわよ。せめてフロントがフルジップだったらまだマシなんだけど。
I thought you were wearing a uniform previously. When she was hurt, I remember she was wearing like bloomers and stuff, right? And everyone else too. But I guess that's not the official uniform for PE.
それに足んとこにゴムついてんだよ。
So what? It's perfectly functional.
はいはい。それじゃあさっさとかけっこ始めましょうか。兵隊さん走れ走れってね。
Don't come crying to me if you get exhausted halfway through.
ああ、本当に行っちゃったわよあの二人。この暑い中を走って何が楽しいんだか。
Ah, people that are never fat. You can never understand me, Chiru. Running is also to keep you... I don't know, for me, I don't know if I've ever said this in the recording for YouTube, but I always preach this whenever I stream my physical exercise. But exercising actually keeps me from mentally being tired. It actually makes me more positive. It has a lot of benefits that you just don't understand unless you do the exercise. But yeah, then again, like I said, not everyone is into that, so I can understand.
あまね、最近少し太ったって言ってたから、きっとダイエットする気なのよさ。
それで私たちはどうしましょうか。
別に何もしないでいいんじゃない？ねえユミコ。
そうね。何をしろと決められているわけではないし、たまには日に当たりなさいといった時間だから、常識の範囲であれば何をしていても構わないのではなくて、私は向こうの木陰で読書をさせてもらうわ。
あんたいつの間にあんなサマーベッドなんか用意したのよ。
私はただこんな暑い日には木陰でレモンソーダでも飲みながら静かに読書がしたいわねとつぶやいただけなのだけれど、気がつけば心優しいメイドさんが用意してくれていたのよ。
サチ、あんたか？
はい、お望みでしたらみちる様の分もご用意いたしますが。
悪くはないんだけど、私ってば一箇所でじっとしてるのってどうしても苦手なのよね。
ま、お好きになさいな。くれぐれも私の邪魔をしないように。
あの女
言いたいことだけ言って言っちゃったわよ。
ふんじゃ、私は自己鍛錬を始めるのよさ。
自己鍛錬ってあんたは何する気よ。
おお、そうな。まずは軽い有酸素運動で体の中の窒素を抜いて、それから風見流スーパー護身術の訓練をしようと思っているのよさ。
The hell is a nitric oxide?
はあ？何それ？スーパー護身術？なんかうさんくさいわね。あんたなんか最近ユージと仲良くしてると思ったらそんなもの習ってたわけ？
そんなものとは何ですか。絶えず弱者が被害者となるこの世の中で護身術はとっても大切なのよ。しかもスーパーなのよ。決して侮ってはいけないのよ。
I don't really doubt what Makina is saying here about how self-defense is pretty important. But considering it's probably more the fact that in my past, when I was younger, a lot of people seem to be going to do like martial arts training. Mostly, what do you call it? What is it? Thai boxing? No, not Thai boxing. What is it? Muay Thai, right? A lot of people back when I was in high school were going into that Muay Thai thing. And rather than doing it for actual self-defense, they were mostly just doing it just to be popular. I feel like that's why whenever people say something about self-defense or martial arts, I'm like, really? You're doing that just to make yourself more popular? I already have a bad preconception of it. Which is not necessarily true, but, you know, like I said, because of my past, that's why I think along those lines.
まあ言いたいことはわかるわよ。でもそんなもの習って実際に効果なんてあるの？
そこまで疑うのならば試してみるがよろしい。どこからでもかかってきなさい。
言ったわね。じゃあ行くわよ。それ！
Jesus, her voice, my dude. It's so loud.
っていうか誰よマグロマン。それのどの辺がスーパーなのか私に分かるように教えてもらえる？
This makes sense though. Like at the end of the day, self-defense doesn't mean that you have to do martial arts. You can just use your surroundings to your advantage.
チルチルってば一から教えないとわからない人？
ムカつくわね。きょとんとした顔で私を見ないで。
いいですか。つまりね、普段どんなに練習をしていてもいざとなったら怖くなって動けなくなっちゃうのよさ。
Yep, that's actually true. Unless you're like a professional killer or something, your nerves for the most part are gonna be very, very stiff during a dangerous situation.
だったら下手に武術とか覚えて変な自信つけちゃうより、まずは大声で人を呼ぶ練習をしておくのが一番なんだって。
Yep, I do think that's actually very good advice, Makina.
何よそれ。結局人頼みじゃない。
いえ、でもそれで間違っていないのだそうですよ。大声で人を呼べば相手は大抵動揺しますし、実際みちる様も思わずマキちゃんを掴んでいた手を離してしまいましたよね。
I think that only applies for people that don't have a lot of experience, though, Sachi. For people that are more experienced, they probably would, I don't know, like do something very dangerous too. Of course, the best part or the best case scenario is for you to scream when they are not when you're not within their arm's reach, or especially when you're already being like apprehended.
そりゃあまあ急にあんな大声出されれば誰だってびっくりするし。
風見さんがおっしゃるには、実際の路上強盗などの場合、大抵の犯人は最初に大声を出すなと脅してくるそうですが、それは転ずれば大声を出されれば仕事にならないからです。犯人に逆らわず言う通りにしていればいいという考え方もありますが、一度犯人にこいつは逆らわないやつだと思われると、要求は次第にエスカレートして最後には殺害に至るといったケースも少なくはないそうです。
そこでまずは は大きな声を出す。大きな声を出されれば犯人は必ずびっくりして、誰かが来たら捕まるかもしれないと考えるのよさ。そうなるとやけを起こして相手に怪我をさせるより、このまま何もしないで逃げた方がいいって考えるのよさ。
なるほど。なんか一理あるような気がしてきたわね。でも諦めの悪い犯人だったり、周りに誰もいないような状況だったらどうするのよ。意味なくない？
ところが意味はあるのよさ。大声を出すことで全身の筋肉が適度にほぐれるから、恐怖で萎縮していた筋肉が動くようになるのです。
That I don't know if true or not, because I was never at the point where, like my body is super paralyzed of fear.
反撃に出るのはそれからなのよさ。
Then again, I have been afraid before when I was riding a roller coaster. Definitely not something I'm into. That's way too scary for my physical being.
反撃？何をするのよ。
じゃあチルチルが犯人役ね。ナイフを持った路上強盗、いい？
ああ、はいはい、ナイフね。右手それとも左手？
どっちでもいいのよさ。と言いつつ、私も利き腕の右手を体の後ろに隠す。ビビったね。こいつ何か武器を隠し持っているのかと一瞬警戒したね。そしてじりじりと焦げつくような睨み合いが続くのよさ。この間にも犯人は強行するか逃げるかでずっと悩みながらも、体の後ろに隠された私の手の動き、肩の動きに意識が集中する。ほらほら、何が飛び出してくるかわからないのよ。ナイフかもしれない、ピストルかもしれない、何かもっと簡単なエアスプレーを吹きかけられたり、例えば携帯電話を投げつけられても隙はできる。そんなことを考えていると、私の動きから目がそらせない。どんどん集中する。右腕一本を隠すことで相手の動きを牽制しつつ、相手の思考すら支配する。そこで
お見事。
こうやって素早く相手の懐に肉吐く。みぞおち、顎、鼻なんかの人体の急所をめがけて強烈な頭突きをぶちかますのよさ。
Again with this Machina. I know it's a funny scene, but damn it, I feel sorry for Michiru.
これぞ肉弾攻め。
一瞬消えて。
そう、それがずらしと宿地なのよさ。人間は意識して集中すればするほど焦点は小さくなるのよ。その狭くなった相手の意識外にスッと体をずらしてしまえば、一瞬見えなくなったと錯覚する。そして素早く肉吐く。
みちる様、しっかり。このままでは惨めに逮捕されてしまいますよ。反撃です。反撃してください。
相手が逆上して襲いかかってきても慌てて逃げてはいけないのよさ。その昔スパルタの母はこう言いました。剣が短いと嘆くよりも一歩踏み込めばよいと。こんな時はむしろ相手に向かって一歩前に踏み込むのよさ。そうするとこんな風に相手は頭突きを警戒して自然と上体を引くのよさ。そんで相手の体重が上半身に乗っている時に両肩をポンと押してやれば、ね、簡単にバランスを崩すでしょ。このまま荷重の抜けた下半身にタックル入れて膝の裏を掴んでグッと持ち上げてやれば簡単に倒せるけど、ここはあえてそうしないで 後ろに倒れないように踏ん張ってる相手の襟首を掴んで引き寄せる。引き寄せてやると相手の力も加わってかなりのスピードで引き寄せることができます。あとは相手の顎に横合いから軽くパーンとパンチを放てば勝手にカウンターになって脳震盪を起こします。はい、パーンとね。相手の眼鏡がブルンと揺れて目を開いたままばったりと倒れ込んだらチャンスです。ブーツを履いた足で相手の喉を思い切り踏みつけて呼吸器官を潰すか、腹を蹴って内臓を破裂させるのよさ。こんな感じでそして相手が動かなくなったら周囲を警戒しつつその場を立ち去り最寄りの警察に駆け込んで叫ぶ。助けてください、私暴漢に襲われたんです。はい、叫んで。
助けてください、私暴漢に襲われたんです。
オーケー、これで完璧。
As informative as that was, I think this only applies if you're dealing with someone who's an amateur. And I think most thugs that have the tendency to even try this are not going to be amateurs, Machina. I don't know, one, they might have a weapon, and two, if you just do that, I think that's gonna really, anger them a lot more. One, when you get mugged, a lot of the main reason you get mugged in the first place is that they want to rob you, right? Rob you of your belongings and such. I doubt that they actually would want to aim for your life, but if you try this shit, I think they are gonna try to kill you at some point, so I don't know. I think this is super dangerous, to be honest. Not something you should be trying. Just my personal opinion.
完璧じゃないわよ。むしろあんたが暴漢。ゲフ。
そっか、こっちが被害者だってアピールしながら戦うの忘れてた。続きとか蹴りを入れるときにね、大きな声で「やめてください」とか「助けてください」って叫びながら攻撃するのよ。いい？これ大事よ。
過剰な暴力を加えて相手の反撃能力を抹殺しつつも被害者面。まさにスーパー護身術だね、マキちゃん。
I don't think so, Sachi, but let's just say okay.
まあ相手がチルチルだからうまくいったけど、実際は大声出すだけにしとけってお兄ちゃんは言ってたのよさ。
See, that actually makes a lot of sense. Even Yuji has a good head on his shoulders, you know? That's not really something you should try to do in real life. If you did that, that would be super dangerous, you know?
格闘術はまず大声を出す勇気を得るために習うものなんだってさ。
戦うために習うんじゃなくて安全に逃げるための護身術ってわけだよね。
そういうことなのよさ。
何、綺麗にまとめようとしてんのよ。そうよ、あまり体力バカの言うことを真に受けない方がいいわよ。
お？あまねえ、もう戻ってきたの？
やっぱ無理、暑い。学校の周りを一周走っただけでドロドロ汗が出てきた。人の走れる気温じゃない、死んじゃう。
お兄ちゃんはどうしたのよさ。
あいつ人間じゃない。涼しい顔してそのまま駅の方に向かって走っていったわ。あれはサイボーグよ。
そういえば以前風見さんもご自身で俺はそういう風に作られた人間なんだっておっしゃっていましたしね。
誰かあいつにはっきりと言いなさいよ。マキナにあんま変なこと教えるなって。おかげで私はっていうか、なんでミチルは泥だらけでぶっ倒れてるの？
なぜならそれは私が被害者だから。
ごめん、私バカだから全然意味がわからない。
Soon after, Having returned to the athletic grounds, I ended up having to apologize to Michiru over something or other in order to deflect a mysterious fit of violent indignation. And to this day, I have no idea what she was so angry about. I mean, can you really say that was Yuji's fault?
ちょうどいいところでチャイムね。それじゃあ現代文の授業はここまでにしましょうか。
At the sound of the bell, the principal promptly cuts off the lesson and puts away her chalk. I can't believe they're still using a blackboard. Her consistent punctuality in these matters is reminiscent of a clock-punching civil servant counting down the years until retirement. Perhaps I should try to learn from her example.
ってことは待ちに待ったご飯の時間なのよ。一日お預けを食らった豚のようにみんなでブヒブヒ言いながらむさぼり食うのよさ。
今の言葉遣いの悪さは見逃してあげるけど、ご飯の時はお行儀よくね。
それから午後の授業は音楽だから教室を間違えないようにね。
Even as she passes on a reminder, the principal is efficiently putting away her textbooks. As soon as the words are out of her mouth, she exits the classroom with the cheerful expression of an office lady thinking over her lunch menu.
そういえば音楽の授業って久しぶりかも。
I actually don't remember this scene too. This is the first time I've selected music for my afternoon elective. What's the class like at this school?
他の学校と特別違うようなところはないと思うけど、合唱が多いわね。ほら、モルジブとか。
Moldova, the heck?
それってもしかしてモルダウのこと？
I also don't know what the hell Moldau is, Amane.
あれ、それって株価のことじゃなかったっけ？
全然違うんだけど、もうモルジブでいいや。
なんか諦められてる。でも次の授業では楽器演奏をやるって髪がロールキャベツみたいになってるあの先生が言ってたのよ。
An instrumental performance.
なんでも各自が好きな楽器を持ち寄ってみんなで一つの曲を演奏するらしいのよさ。
前回の音楽は2週間くらい前になるけれど、そんなことを言っていたかしら。
まあ妄想力豊かなユミちゃんには別の言葉に聞こえたかもしれないけれど、私は確かにそう聞いたのよ。
それだけ自信があるなら本当にそう言ったんでしょうね。でも急に好きな楽器って言われてもどれにするか迷っちゃうわよね。
だったら昼休みの間に決めておけばいいじゃない？
決めるってわざわざ音楽準備室を開けてもらって？
忘れたの、アマネ。このクラスにはサッチがいるのよ。
あ、なるほど。
It seems she's suggesting we have our dedicated miracle worker pull musical instruments out of her hat.
みちる様の言いたいことは分かりました。お望みとあらばこの小峰幸喜んで裸になりましょう。
誰が学校でストリップをやれって言ったのよ。
すみません、みちる様はその両党かと思っていたのですが違いましたか？
もう全然違うわよ。ツンデレだけでも大変なのに妙な設定追加しないでよね。
どさくさに紛れてツンデレは設定って言っちゃってるし。浅はかね。
まあいいわ。とりあえず試しに一つ楽器を用意してみてちょうだい。
それは構いませんがどの楽器にしましょう？
そうね。じゃあ無難なところでソプラノリコーダーなんかを。
はい、わかりました。
Soprano recorder? What is that? I know what a recorder is, I think. As soon as she's formally received her orders, Sachi runs over to her locker in the usual manner.
お待たせしました。こちらになります。
In no time at all, she returns to Michiru and hands over the requested wind instrument.
確かにソプラノリコーダーね。
Soprano recorder? I know what a recorder is, but is there such a thing as a soprano one? Soprano specific one?
ってこれ裏に私の名前が彫ってあるんだけど。
リコーダーには紛失と誤用がつきものですから、事前に名前を入れさせていただきました。
ということはもしかして頼めば私たちの分も？
はい、漢字で8文字以内でしたら。
すごいけどちょっと怖い。
Well, I'm impressed, Sachi. Not only did you prepare the instrument instantly, you're apparently a fairly competent engraver.
ありがとうございます。
ではちょっとブルっちゃったチルチルに代わってここからは私が進行を務めたいのだけど、各自自分がやってみたいと思ってる楽器をサッチーにリクエストしていくって感じでいい？
Yeah, sounds reasonable.
おし、じゃあやろうども。5分以内に楽器のリクエストを決めるようにするのよさ。
これでよしと。
Seems our preparations are complete.
はい、リクエストされたものは一通り用意できました。
While I've been sitting here reading my paperback, Sachi has been methodically carrying musical instrument cases of various shapes and sizes into the classroom. This seems to be the last of them. By the way, what did you go with, Sakaki?
リコーダーよ。
Sorry, didn't quite catch that.
あれとリコーダーよ。笑いたければ好きなだけ笑うといいわ。
I don't really think it's anything to get that offensive about. Definitely a bit of a surprising choice, though.
そうそう、ユミちゃんっていいとこのお嬢様だから。ザマスって10秒に1回くらい喋るおばちゃんにバイオリンとか習ってるイメージだったのよさ。
その芸術に関する習い事は何もしていなかったのよ。だから満足な演奏ができるようなものは小さい頃に習ったリコーダーくらいしか。
I get you, Yumiko. I also played the recorder back when I was in elementary school. Though, when I was in middle school, I played this very traditional instrument called a kolin tong. It was actually pretty interesting.
榊さんも可愛いところあるんだね。
スオさん。
ごめん、ついからかいたくなっちゃって。
I understand that she's upset, but why glare at me?
ならスオさんはどんな楽器にしたの？
私はこれよ。
With obvious relish, Amani takes her instrument from its case and gives it a vigorous strum. I see. You chose an electric guitar, Amani.
やっぱり女子学生に似合う楽器って言ったらギターでしょ。
I don't know, I've never played that, Amani. In high school, there was a band practice though. I never actually cared too much about it.
確かにスオさんには一番似合ってる楽器かもね。
そう？まあ、なんていうか。
What the
ライ
fuck?
ブとかやった後に雪吊りの男とトイレでエッチなことしてそうなイメージ。
Censored version, by the way.
あんたたちはどうしても私をビッチにしたいみたいね。
Considering how you act, Amani. Just a thought here, if she has a problem with her image, maybe she could try to break that habit of aggressively mashing her tits against people.
まあでもギターのコードは3つくらいしか知らないんだけどね。何よ、全然ダメじゃない。じゃあそういうみちるは何にしたのよ。私はもちろんこれに決まってるじゃない。
I thought she got the recorder too. Michiru proudly brandishes an enormous musical instrument. A harp.
そう、知的な私にぴったりな楽器でしょ。いや、全然。
全く似合っていないわね。
むしろ楽器がかわいそう。
この際、頭のツインテールで音を奏でてみてはいかがでしょう。
なんで私だけコメントが辛辣なのよ。っていうか、思う、ハープ思う。
Not to worry. I will now provide you with a musical instrument ideally suited to your capabilities, Michiru.
本当？
Aren't there like small harps too? I wonder if she's like using the fully big one. Yeah. I quietly nod to Sachi, who hands Michiru a small xylophone used in a school's public announcement broadcasts.
木金
Dubious as your physical strength may be, I think you should be able to handle this, right?
おまけに端から順に叩くだけでお知らせのメロディーになりますしね。
うわ私は芸を覚えたてのチンパンジーじゃないんだからね。
Man, they are really... I feel sorry for Michiru, really. I mean, I don't know. Back then, I don't think I feel that much sorry for her, but now that I replay this, I do feel sorry for her. She gets bullied a lot. No one seems willing to answer that question. Apparently, I'm not the only one who thinks a performing ape is actually a pretty good match for Michiru in the brains department.
じゃあマキナは何の楽器にしたのよ。
私はシンセにしたのよさ。
That's really loud in my headphones. I hope it's not that loud for you guys. As she speaks, Makina immediately sounds off a demonstration note.
と言っても楽音を合成する機能は備わっていないので、キーボードといった方が分かりやすいかもしれません。
それよりそんな大きなものどうやって用意したの？
はい、これはさすがにロッカーの中で保管できませんので、速やかに音楽準備室に侵入して確保してきました。
侵入ってね。
結局のところ最初から音楽準備室に行っておけばよかったって話よね。
So it would seem, yes.
でも鍵盤っていろんな音が出せて結構面白いのよ。
And what will you use them for?
例えばそういえばチルチル、この前お兄ちゃんがチルチルのツインテールを褒めてたのよ。
え、本当？
とか
実験台にするな。
Fucking damn it.
他にも、うわー、ユミちゃんがカッターで自分の服をズタボロに。
あなたの中で私がどんな人間になっているのかは知らないけれど、やらないわよ、私は。
Oh, sorry.
ユミちゃんはノリ悪いな。
そういう問題じゃないと思うけどね。
She's using it in strange ways, but the versatility of this instrument might make it a good fit for Makina, as a complement to her limited powers of self-expression. Well then, last up would be Sachi. What instrument did you choose?
私はこれになります。
With a smile, Sachi places a block of wood slightly larger than a tissue box on top of her desk. What did we choose?
何これ、金属の棒が2本刺さってるけど。
Wait, is this a theremin? I don't know what that is.
さすが風見さん、テルミンのこともご存知だったんですね。
From books, yes. This is the first time I've actually laid eyes on one.
ねえねえ、何なの？そのテルミって名前の子がつけられるあだ名みたいな名前の楽器は。
テルミンというのはロシアで生まれた特殊な楽器で、本体に触れることなく空中にある手の位置だけで音程や音量を調節することができるらしいわ。
へえ、榊さんも詳しいんだね。
きっとネットしてたら偶然名前を見かけて、どんなマスコットキャラかしらって勘違いで調べたことがあるだけなのよさ。
She doesn't deny it, which probably means Makina hit the bullseye.
そういえば風見さんは何の楽器にするか決めたんですか？
I don't have any particular favorite, so I'm fine with playing whatever the instructor recommends.
それじゃあちょっと面白くないわね。
Alright, then why don't you choose something for me?
それはなんだか面白そうな話なのよ。
なるほど、ユージに似合いそうな楽器か。
I don't have any particular strengths or weaknesses in this field after all. It'll probably be my first time playing whatever instrument you choose, so it's all the same to me.
だったらアコースティックギターとかがいいんじゃない？
確かに似合うと思いますが、少し無難すぎるかもしれません。
じゃあハーモニカなんてどう？港の出っ張ってるやつにこう足とか乗っけてさ。悪くないんだけどあまねのチョイスはちょっと古いわね。うわ、その言葉結構ショックかも。
それならバイオリンというのはどう？
悪くない選択だと思います。
Why are you blushing, Sachi? I don't get it. I haven't touched any of these instruments before, so it's a bit hard to choose.
もし決まらないようならお兄ちゃんも私と同じシンセにしてしまえばいいのよ。
I see. That's not a bad idea either.
って同じ楽器でいいなら私と一緒にエレキギターやろうよ。
Is this an actual choice? I don't remember there being a choice here. Or I don't even remember this scene at all.
それなら私も。
なにこんなところで楽器なんか出してみんなでバンドでも始めるの？
No, we were just in the middle of choosing our instruments for the upcoming class.
次の授業って5限目の音楽は合唱のはずだけど。
You sure about that?
ほらここにもそう書いてあるでしょ。
The principal hands over a copy of her detailed class schedule. Just as she says, the words music, choral lesson are printed in the relevant box. I see. Thank you for correcting our faulty intelligence.
事情はよくわからないけれど役に立ったのならよかったわ。
Damn you, Machina.
ええ、学園長のおかげで少し懲らしめないといけない人間が出てきたみたいですから。
そうなの？
はい、平気な顔でご情報を流した悪い子をね。
二人ともちょっと待ってほしいのよ。間違いは誰にでもあることなのよさ。
じゃあ罰を受ける覚悟も当然できているわよね、イリスさん。
ユミちゃんまで。
Give it up, Machina. You ended up wasting an entire lunch period. A little punishment is only natural.
お兄ちゃんまでそう言うなら私も腹をくくるのだけど、その前に1分だけ時間が欲しいのよ。
Yeah, you're gonna run away, aren't you?
認めましょう。
さっちん、実は
何？
今から昼休みが終わるまでの間私を抱えて逃げ回ってほしいのよさ。
いいよ。
ちょっとマキナ、ここでサチを使うのは卑
卑怯でも反則でも勝てば官軍ってやつなのよさ。
怯よ。マキ
うわわ、さっち2人から角が生えてこないうちに逃げるのよさ。
わかった。
That's actually, I think, the first time we saw the feet of the girls, and my eyes are led to a specific point to Sachi's thighs. I am very sorry, but I was attracted to her garter belt. As Amane and Michiru take their first step forward, Sachi shoulders Machina like a backpack and darts out of the classroom. As much as I don't want to admit it, I do still think I am as much of a pervert as anyone who plays these eroges.
こら待ちなさい。ツンデレなめんじゃないわよ。
いくらあの二人が本気になっても小峰さんが相手じゃ分が悪いわね。
喧嘩はしちゃダメよ。
Machina's flight from justice isn't exactly admirable, but Sachi's absolute obedience is pretty immoral in its own right.
絶対に追いついてやるんだから。
Damn, you guys need to exercise some more.
さすがさっちん。アマネエとチルチルもすでに虫の息なのよさ。
Minutes later, when the bell announcing the end of lunch period brought her request to an end, Machina's boastful jeering dissolved into miserable screams. Jesus, her voice is so loud. Not that I mind it, I do like her voice, because she also voices Natsume Rin from Little Busters, which is one of my favorite characters there. It's impossible to weigh one kind of unhappiness against another. That's true. Even say the sadness of a man who has lost a lifelong friend, and the bitter sulking of a young girl forced to eat her carrots before dessert. There's no scale by which we can objectively measure misery. People have the tendency to judge themselves happier or unhappier relative to others, but such comparisons rest on a flawed assumption that we all think and feel alike. Another's misfortune may seem trivial to you, but if it brings genuine distress and suffering, anything can be a tragedy. I don't deny that.
私のラムネがない。
Michiru turns her shark pouch inside out and shrieks. Although by now I'm somewhat used to this woman's tendency to kick up a fuss at the slightest provocation, when she's this loud, it's impossible to focus on my reading. Surely a little candy doesn't warrant this much of a ruckus. One would think you'd throw in a pineapple only to have it bounce off a wall and land at your feet.
普通はパイナップル投げないでしょ。でも慌ててるの。だってあんたラムネよ。大事じゃない。糖分はね、頭にね、あわあわあわ。
Yeah, I do think they're not really Ramune and more like her medication, for sure. You're so damn noisy, woman. Are you sure you didn't just drop them under your desk?
机の下探してみる。
Michiru drops to all fours and begins to desperately search every inch of the ground for her candy. I could understand his position if she was looking for something small like a contact lens, but it hardly seems sufficient when she's trying to find something as obvious as a container of candy. Michiru, my friend.
何よ。今探してるんだから話しかけないでよね。
Sorry. However, I feel obliged to inform you that I can see your underwear.
頭ぶつけた。見ないでよね。
At you holding your head and crying tears of pain after foolishly bumping into the desk? Or at your simple white underwear, which is still completely exposed at present?
どっちもよ。今はそんなことしてる場合じゃないんだから。
どうかしたの？
Sakaki comes over to investigate the commotion. In response, Michiru flaps her mouth like a goldfish and points to her shark pouch.
ね、ここに入れておいたね。ラムネがね、ないの。
ラムネ？ラムネってラムネ菓子のこと？
そうなの。ないのよ。
新しいのを買うわけにはいかないの？
そういうわけにはいかないの。だってあれは特別なラムネなのです。
特別なラムネ。わかった。もし見つけたら教えるわ。
そうしてください。ねえ、ユージ。なんだか今の態度怪しくなかった？
No? Not in the least. She was exactly the same unfriendly individual as always.
そうよね。やっぱりおかしかったわよね。
The fuck?
私も最初からそう思ってたのよ。
Are you even listening to me?
もしやユミコが。そういえばあの子ってばいつになくラムネを欲しそうな顔をしてたもの。むしろラムネ顔だったもの。
Is she taking like antidepressants or something? What exactly is a Ramune face?
そりゃあもうおやつは500円までですよって言われたら600円分ラムネ買っちゃうような顔よ。しかも食べないのよ。保存用だから。
Did she really have an expression like that on her face?
してたでしょ。あの目。ラムネの目をしてたもの。ラム目だわ。
Calm yourself, woman. There's no such thing. Probably as a result of her panic, Michiru seems to have grown somewhat paranoid. Well, that's always been an element of her personality, but it seems more pronounced at the moment. Also, she's completely incoherent. There are a few things as ugly as throwing around unfounded accusations. Usually this would be the part where I deliver a swift kick to the ass with a steel-toed boot. But I am dealing with a woman here, so that's sadly not an option.
ねえ、ラムネなくしたんだって？買ってあげようか？
いらないの。あのラムネじゃなきゃダメなの。まるで子供ね。ユージ、なんでこんなに取り乱してるの？
Perhaps she's under some sort of chronic stress. Might be using the loss of her property as an excuse to let off some steam.
違うわよ。ストレスなんて感じてないもん。みんなで一緒に探してあげるわよ。その必要以上の優しさ、怪しい。普通のこと言っただけなんだけどな。正直に言いなさい。私は怒らないから。じゃあ目つむって。はい、あまねさん、手を挙げて。はい。やっぱりあんたが取ったのね、この泥棒ラムネ。ちょっと、今のは罠じゃないの。むしろ罠にさえなってないわよ。だってあまねが。よしよし、さっちゃんだってきっと一緒に探してくれるから。もしかしてサチがやったのね。そうに決まってる。サチ、自分がやったと言いなさい。
はい、私がやりました。
ちょっと。
もちろんです。何の話か全く把握していませんが、私の責任だというのであれば、それはもう 100% 私の責任です。
Michiru, you know full well how Sachi thinks. She's going to say she stole your candies regardless of the real facts. I seriously doubt you're going to find them this way.
分かってるもん。サチじゃないってことは分かってます。
はい、みちる様がそうおっしゃられるなら 100% 私に非はありません。
Why are both of you blushing?
さっちゃんがいると話がややこしくなるから、ちょっとあっちかどこか行っててね。
はい、わかりました。
It doesn't seem like Sakaki, Amane, or Sachi were responsible. Therefore...
残るわ。
ねえねえ、ボンバイエって何語なの？
The fuck? Lingala.
そっか、ありがとう。またね。
お待ちなさい。アキナ、とうとう尻尾を出したわね。
I like how Yuji just suddenly just said that after she asked such a random question.
マキナに尻尾はないのよ。
He's saying she doesn't have any tails.
さあ、どこに隠したの？ちゃんと言いなさい。
なんでチルチルそれを知ってるの？やっぱり。
でも私だって鬼じゃない。今謝れば許してあげるから白状しなさい。
ごめんなさい。私がやりました。
やっぱり許さん、絶対に許
スンスン。実はね、アマネの部屋に入ってね。それでね。
私の部屋？
それで買いだめして隠してあるお菓子を山ほど盗み食いしたのよさ。そう
ああ、だからさっき廊下でお腹痛いって言ってたのね。
ごめんなさい。まさかバレてるとは思わなかったのよ。悪いことをしたからね。私に尻尾生えたの悪いことしたから。
大丈夫よ、尻尾は生えてないから。
だってチルチルがそう言ったのよさ。あたいの尻尾どんなん？ふさふさしてる？それともシュッとした感じ？意外にぐっしょり濡れてたりとか。
尻尾はないからね。さっちゃんに言って胃薬もらおうね。ほらおいで。
もう苦しいのよ。これも尻尾のせいかもしれないのよさ。
食べ過ぎだからね。となると、やれやれ、まさかこんなことになるとは思わなかったわ。風見雄二、あんたが真犯人だとはね。
Ridiculous. Why would I steal a bunch of fruit-flavored sugar lozenges? Is that how you say that word?
そうやって真っ先に否定するところが怪しいのよ。
Stop talking. You're a complete simpleton.
コアッパってどういう意味なの？小さいワッパってこと？ワッパって何？私を混乱させようとしているのね。
I don't need to play any games. Look, just calm down and think this over carefully. What were you doing before you lost the...
妖怪の仕業を疑うの。妖怪枕返しの仕業なの。
That makes no sense. A pillow turner moves your pillow to the other end of the bed. That's it. It doesn't steal things.
枕を返すだけじゃないもん。時には頭と足の向きを変えることだってします。
There's something wrong with your head, Michiru.
それ意味あんの？何のために存在してるのあいつ。
Don't ask me. Anyway, try to remember what you were doing before you lost the candies. If you slowly go back over your actions, you should be able to figure out where you dropped them.
わかりました。あれだ。なんだ。まず机に座ってました。
Did you have the ramune candies at that point?
わかんない。
When's the last time you're sure you had them?
だってこのポーチの中。
The instant Michiru opens her pouch, the color of her face changes dramatically. I can't quite read her expression. Irritation? Maybe a regret? I think I can also see a rare hint of shame.
もういいわ。ポフン、ラムネのことは忘れましょう。犯人探しなんて趣味が悪いわね。はい、3回。
What's this all of a sudden? Those candies are important to you, right? I'll help you find them.
いや、なんていうのかしら。もういいのよ。だってラムネなんていくらだって代わりはあるでしょ。
Ah, Michiru, just as I was putting you ahead of Machina, and then you do this dumb shit.
そんないちいちラムネの一つや二つなくしたぐらいで騒いでたらごめんなさい。
You found them, didn't you? Inside the pouch.
申し訳ござりません。はい、確かにこのサメの中に入っておりました。でも別に謝ったりしないんだからね。
You just did. Pretty much groveled, in fact.
うっさいわね。そういうことじゃないのよ。謝ってはいるけど謝ってはいないのよ。わかる？このツンデレっぽさわかる？
I stare quietly into Michiru's eyes for a moment, then abruptly break eye contact. In geopolitics, they say the country that breaks away from a staring contest first loses. But in this sort of situation, the opposite is true. By averting my gaze first, I take initiative and fluster my opponent. Of course, I have an overwhelming advantage over Michiru even if I don't bother with this sort of trick, but it's something of a habit. I should really try to work on this instinctive need to exert control over others at all times. Having suddenly and unexpectedly lost their point of focus, Michiru's eyes dart around the room anxiously. In the next moment, Sachi passes by the classroom carrying a large suitcase.
ちょっとサチどこ行くのよ。
はい、先ほどはマネさんに言われた場所へと向かうところです。
Sachi, my friend, I think you've made a slight mistake. You see, Amani asked you to wander off for a tick of the clock, and not for the historic Attic Peninsula in southern Greece.
それは大変失礼いたしました。てっきりアティカとばかり思っていて、渡航に向けて数日分の着替えを用意したところでした。
God damn it, Sachi.
普通そんな聞き間違いしないでしょう。
ガイドブックを見ながら皆さんへのお土産を買うならアテネによってパルテノン神殿かなと考えてしまいました。
Good choice. I hear the Parthenon and Manju are pretty decent.
そういえばあの件はさっき 時解決したからね。
あの件、どの件ですか？
そのあの件よ。ほら、私が物をなくしたっていう件。
そんな事件があったんですか？全く知りませんでしたが、それは本当に良かったですね。どこで見つかったのですか？
それはあれよ。
はい、みちる様、聞き取れませんが。
ポーチの中にあったって言ってるじゃない。私がミスしただけよ。何よ、人の間違いを責めるのは心の貧しい人間のすることでしょ。
責めていません。みちる様の愚かな見落としであり、他人に責任を押し付けようとする腐った性根が原因だとしても、私は見つかってよかったですねと言っているではないですか。
そんな言い方ないんじゃないの？
事実ではないと？
はい、事実です。
何？見つかったの？
見つかったわよ。っていうか、なくしてすらなかったわよ。悪かったわね。迷惑かけて悪かったわね。
そう、それならいいけど。
私も失礼いたします。荷造りを解かなくてはいけませんから。
何よ。何か言いたいことがあれば言えばいいじゃない。
Try to be a little more careful about crying wolf in the future. Sachi could have ended up in a foreign country and Makina very nearly changed colors.
わかってるわよ。さっき見た時はなかったのにな。これ絶対に妖怪の仕業じゃないかな。
The only individual who knows the depth of someone's unhappiness is the unfortunate party in question. That said, there's nothing wrong with feeling a little sympathy for an innocent ghost forced to bear the blame for another's stupidity. Slight digression, but would the victim of a pillow turner be a pillow turnee? While pondering these weighty matters, I watch Michiru wander off, her container of candy clutched tightly in her hand. I really doubt it's actual candy, though.
何？マキちゃん。
そんな普通の対応じゃ困るのよ。もっとこう深夜の通販番組っぽいテンションで乗ってきてもらわないと。
わかった。
それじゃもう一回最初からなのよ。巻いてかないとケツカッチンなのよさ。
Mere moments after Makina stormed into the classroom, she runs right back outside. What was that all about?
さあね。またマキナが新しい遊びでも考えたんじゃない？
早速ですが、拙者と共に城へ来てくださらんか？
わかりました。
かたじけない。チルチル様、サチ殿をお連れいたしました。
ああ、ありがとう。
だからチルチルももっと役作りするのよさ。
ああ、もうめんどくさい。わかったわよ。その方の働き、まこと大義であった。下がってゆっくり休むがよい。
はは。
してみちる様、何故私をお呼びになられたのでしょうか？
実はサチに用意してほしいものがあってな。
何でございましょう？
マムシご飯じゃ。
マムシご飯。
そうじゃ。サチよ、主はマムシご飯を作ることができるか？
可能にございます。
ならば今日の夕げまでに見事用意してみせよ
う。わかりました。
Concluding the conversation with her standard phrase of acceptance, Sachi leaves the classroom at once.
なんで芝居がかってたのかは聞かないけど、つまりうなぎが食べたくなったと。
そうそう、土曜日は明日だからフライングゲットみたいな。
一応言っておくけど、土曜の土曜は土曜日という意味じゃないわよ。
そうなの？
それ以上のことはきっとあなたの部屋のパソコンが丁寧に教えてくれるわ。
が人のことをバカにして。でもよくマムシーなんて言い方知ってたわね。そう呼ぶのは京阪の方だけなのに。
昨日ネットしてる時にちょっとね。やっぱりパソコンから得た知識だったのよさ。
いるわよね。ネットの百科事典を少し覗いただけで自分が賢くなったように感じる人って。
In any case, they say eel is great for replenishing physical energy. Never a bad thing to get a little extra vigor. Vigor? I think it's vigor.
だからって別にいやらしいことを考えてたわけじゃないんだからね。
Come to think of it, the Mamushi pit viper doesn't lend its name to eel dishes alone. It's also the name of a male Aphrodis. Fucking Yuji.
あんたは何を言おうとしてるのよ。
ボリューム少し下げてもらえる？
はい。ま、せっかくの機会だし、今日の夕飯はみんなでマムシっていうのもいいんじゃない？
I think Sachi might be misunderstanding Mamushi rice, but we'll see.
サチのことだから6人分は用意してくるだろうし。
というわけで、榊さんも参加だからね。
Hmm? You're unusually obedient today.
別に。ただ小峰さんの仕事を増やすのがバカらしいと思っただけよ。
Ah, I see. Sakaki seems to be aware that any resistance she might offer would end in her defeat at the hands of the Demon Lord.
はい、というわけで早速キッチンにやってきました。来ちゃいました。
Sorry to interrupt, but I have a question.
はい、お兄ちゃん。
What are you doing in this room? Oh, why are you doing this in my room?
それはその雰囲気よ、雰囲気。別にあんたの部屋を選んだことに深い意味はないんだから。
いや、ここでドヤ顔になられても。
設定を維持するのも大変ね。
はい、自分のことは棚にあげる由美子のことは放っておいて、早速料理の方に移りましょう。それではサッチン先生、どうぞ。
お待たせしました。
Oh, I think I remember this one. Okay, I think I remember this one.
あれ？こう言っちゃなんだけど、さっちゃん少し汚れてない？
Just as Amane says, Sachi has entered the room a muddy mess. There are leaves and twigs sticking out of her hair.
すみません。材料の調達に少し手間取ってしまいまして。
まあそこら辺においそれと売ってるような食材じゃないもんね。
そうか？
で、下準備にはどれくらいかかるの？
もう少しだけ時間をいただければ。
オッケー。それじゃあマキナ、サチの作業が終わるまでのつなぎは任せたわよ。了解なのよさ。
Hey, Bob! なんだい、ジョニー。約束の時間までもう少しあるし、ひつまぶしでも食べて暇つぶししないか？おいおい、ジョニー、ジャパニーズジョークなんていつ覚えたんだい？それこそ暇つぶしにね。はあはっはっはっは。
Exactly my reaction. What the fuck was that?
ごめん。やっぱ先進んでいい？
They even use like different voice actors for that. So dumb.
はい。サチ、そっちの具合はどう？
あとはこれを火にかけるだけです。
さすがサチ。持つべきものはやっぱりできる後輩よね。うっす。
でも小峰さん、ご飯の方はその鍋でも炊けると思うけど、マムシの方はどうするの？
この鍋で一緒に調理しますよ。
へえ、そんな作り方もあるんだね。
はい。
そんな調理法あったかしら。
Now that she mentions it, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to broil the eel separately, then mix it with the rice after the fact. Just as an uneasy confusion begins to spread around the room, the pot's lid pops open and a long slender thing emerges.
何あれ。
何ってヘビじゃないの？
ヘビね。
To be more specific, it appears to be a venomous Japanese pit viper, popularly known as the mamushi. Compared to the common rat snake, the body is distinctively thick and short. After a long moment in which the world seemed to stand still, Sachi abruptly decapitates the snake with her kitchen knife. Impressive swordsmanship.
ありがとうございます。
When I look to my side, the previously enthusiastic Michiru is pale as a ghost. What's the matter, Michiru? It's just a kitchen knife. Nothing to be scared of.
そっちじゃないのよ。
So what is?
鍋からヘビが。
What? Are you scared of Mamushi vipers?
マムシっていうよりはヘビ全般。
I mean, at this point, the snake's dead, though.
というより長い生き物が苦手なんでしょ。
ごめん。私もう無理。
With a few weak words of surrender, Michiru sinks to the ground with a soft thwomp.
チルチルが死んじゃった。
じゃあさっちゃんが作った料理は後でみちるに食べてもらいましょうか。
I don't know about you guys, but I've eaten snake before, and it doesn't taste bad. It's kind of rubbery, though. I guess depends on how you cook it. Guess it's something you need to cook for a lot longer than typical meat.
そうね。
勝手に殺すなーっていうかアナーキーの食べ物を押し付けるなーと思ったらすぐに生き返ったのよさ。
ヘビ嫌いなのにマムシ並みの生命力ね。
うまいこと言ったつもりか。
それよりサチ、私はマムシご飯が食べたいって言ったはずよ。
はい。なので私もマムシご飯を作ったつもりなのですが。
あんたが作ったのはマムシご飯じゃなくてヘビご飯じゃないの。
ということはもしかしてみちる様が食べたかったのはうなぎの方だったんですか？
だから私はそう言ってるでしょうが。
わかりました。そういうことでしたら念のために用意しておいたこちらのうな重を。
だったら最初からそっちを持ってきなさいよもう。
Today, I learned that Michiru has issues with creepy crawly life forms. Also, that it's important to be precise in your terminology when making a request of Sachi. Human beings are multifaceted creatures. Yeah, nice beginning monologue there, Yuji. It's not uncommon for someone who seems one-dimensional at a glance to reveal a dramatically different side under even light investigation. Many people don't stop at being two-faced. There are plenty of us out there with 3 or 4. A simple case might be a scumbag who sometimes played a good guy or vice versa. These multiple faces are part of what makes people interesting, but they also complicate our relations with others. The people living in this dorm are no exception to the general rule. Sometimes I wonder if Makina even thinks in Japanese. Her actions and words are so garbled. Sachi's extraordinary obedience and obsessive honesty are equally mysterious. Anyone could guess there's more to those two than meets the eye. But Amane can be oddly evasive and poker-faced at times as well. And even our mentally derailed airhead Michiru has markedly uncharacteristic moments. I think it's safe to conclude everyone here has something of a hidden side.
んで一体いつユミちゃんは出れるの？
Say what? I'm killing time in the lobby after school when Makina suddenly approaches me with a strange question. Dere? By which you mean what? Is that the same Dere from Michiru's Tsundere? The lovey-dovey side of a split personality?
そうだよ。他に何があるっていうのよさ。
Dere is by now a fairly common slang term, where the contrasting sun suggests a pointed, hostile attitude toward others. Dere implies the complete opposite, a sweet and friendly approach. The widely known tsundere personality exhibits both behaviors, creating a strong contrast or gap that many find attractive, apparently. Personally, I'm not particularly well informed on the subject, and yet you explained that to my face, Yuji. While I have some interest in the pseudo-tsundere Matsushima Michiru as a subject for observation, my curiosity is entirely directed toward the less artificial elements of her personality. The tsundere attribute itself isn't especially interesting or appealing to me. In short, I don't really give a damn. To ask a question like that, I think you first need to prove that Sakaki has dere tendencies, or at the very least, concrete grounds to support that conjecture. Do you possess any such evidence? For starters, I asked Makina about the premise underlying her question, on the off chance there might be some rational thought behind it.
ねえよ、そんなもん。
Look, kid.
ねえけどさ、だって思わね？あんなにごっつりと周りに壁作りまくって孤独を気取ってたら、なんかそのうちに「嫌だ、そばにいてくれなきゃ嫌なの」とか言い出しそうじゃん、あの黒髪。
That would certainly be a striking contrast. In that respect, this theory of Sakaki seems to line up with the standard tsundere concept, but I have to say though, I don't think she really fits that neatly in the tsundere category. Yeah, that's why she's in the kudere category, Yuji.
世の中にはクーデレって人種もいるのよさ。
Exactly, Makina. I see. Kudere, is it? I've picked up this term somewhere as well. It seems the popularity of the tsundere concept gave birth to a variety of subspecies. The kudere in particular proved durable enough to gain its own semi-independent status. Unlike the outright aggression of the sun, ku suggests a cool, indifferent attitude. The kudere feigns apathy, keeping others at a distance by means of apparent disinterest, but secretly craves intimacy. To date, Sakaki Yumiko has certainly demonstrated a consistently cool attitude, if not the lovey-dovey side of the equation. Makina, do you want to make Sakaki go into dere mode?
おう、
For what reason?
興味本位。
I see. If Sakaki herself happened to hear that response, things would probably get even chillier. But I guess it's foolish to hope for anything more from Makina. And are you expecting to accomplish something by complaining to me?
そうそう、だからお兄ちゃんにも協力してほしいのよさ。
You want me to cooperate in turning Sakaki dere?
んだ。
I quietly fold the newspaper I'd been reading earlier, stand from my seat without a word, and walk off toward my room. Just as my hand reaches the doorknob, Makina's round face reappears before my eyes, her shoes screeching on the floor.
おい、何しかとして部屋へ引きこもろうとしてんだ。こっち来て話の続き聞け。
Unfortunately, I have no interest in any of this. Go try the others instead.
やだよ。この計画はお兄ちゃんが参加しないとうまくいかないんだってば。
Why?
それはほら、ユミちゃんだって女なわけだし。
Well, it's true enough that I'm the only male in this dormitory, but I don't think that really works in my favor when dealing with Sakaki. If anything, quite the opposite. She seems to see it as something of a strike against me. I don't think that really makes... Hey, Makina! Without even waiting for my response, Makina shoves me back toward the lobby.
いいからこっち来るのよさ。もうみんなも呼んであるし、お兄ちゃんだけスルーとか許さないのよ。
A group meeting? For this crap? That night, everyone except Sakaki gathers in the third-floor laundry room. Amani and Sachi seem to be operating as normal, but Michiru apparently forgot about the meeting and had to be dragged out of bed. She's stifling a wary yawn at the moment. At the center of the group, Makina gleefully surveys her troops, then begins to speak.
というわけで、皆様にお集まりいただきました理由は他でもない、榊由美子についてであります。 すでにお兄ちゃんには話したけど、あの黒髪そろそろデレとかないとキャラも弱いんで一丁どうかなって思った次第なのよ。
No, I don't get you, Machina. Spreading a large sheet of paper on the table, she writes the letter Y with a permanent marker, circles it vigorously, and adds the note Operation Dare to one side.
というわけで同志たちにはこれからあの冷徹女をデレさせるために各自作戦行動をとってもらうこととする。作戦決行はよく一蓋丸々より。何か質問は？
榊さんが？なんか全然想像できないんだけど。
ですね。私にはあの氷の霊障しか思い出すことができません。
見てみたいとか思わねえのか二人とも。
そりゃちょっとは思うけどね。
マキちゃんがどういう作戦を考えているのかわかりませんが、返り討ちにされてしまいそうな気がします。
Damn you, Machina. You and your quest for your curiosity.
なんなのよさ、この日和見主義め。もうちょい乗ってきたらどうなのよさ。
Amani and Sachi responded once with outright pessimism. In the first place, we've been forcibly dragged to this point on the assumption that Sakaki has a hidden friendly side. And that's nothing more than a guess based off a common personality type. There's no real reason to believe that pattern has to apply to Sakaki. Amani's known Sakaki the longest among all of us, for what it's worth, and she's clearly not buying into the idea. It seems entirely likely that this Dare Sakaki is something of a Bigfoot, the product of an overactive imagination. What's more, we're talking about a woman prone to swing blades around when provoked. As Sachi says, if we adopt Machina's likely rash and aggressive plan, there's a possibility we'll suffer some casualties.
あのユミコにデレですって？
But just when I think we've reached consensus, one of the group reacts differently. As a PT, pseudo tsundere, with a contrary personality of her own, perhaps Michiru is being subtly influenced by the possibility of discovering a comrade of sorts. In any case, unlike the rest of the group, she seems genuinely intrigued by the idea.
あ、チルチルが反応したか。さすがはツンデレだな。見直したぞ。
こんなことで見直すな。つか何を一体見直したのよ。わけわかんないわよ。へえ、みちるは榊さんにデレがあるって思ってんの？いや、絶対にそう思ってるわけじゃないんだけど、
何ですか？
なんかあの子全然笑わないからさ、ちょっと笑ったりとかしたらそれだけでもなんか安心するというか、そう思って。
I don't know, Michiru. I think that's still your ego talking, right?
何よ、いきなりみんな黙っちゃって。私なんか変なこと言った？
I don't know, the way I see it, maybe because I myself was a pretty pessimist person back when I was, a couple of years ago, I definitely was a lot more pessimistic. But I don't necessarily think everyone is trying to achieve happiness in their life. Depends on what you've been through, you know?
いや、なんか珍しくまっとうなこと言ったなーって思って。
らしくねえな、チルチル。
あんたらね
いいのです、みちる様。普段のどうしようもない言動とのバランスを取るために、あえて友達思いっぽい言動を混ぜて均衡を保とうとするその心。
You're very harsh, aren't you, Sachi?
私にはわかります。
全然わかってねえ。
まあ、みちるの言うことも一理あるし、あの鉄仮面さんにちょっとはニコニコしてもらおうってことならば私は賛成だけど。
I don't know. At the end of the day, I think you are doing this for your own amusement. And I do think that's actually very bad, Amane.
はい、私もです。
おお、みんなやっと乗ってきたな。
I feel like the goal has shifted slightly from the original Dere objective. But it seems like our motive is now slightly more respectable than Machina's desire to amuse herself. So I'm not going to complain. Okay, so I guess the next question would be, what sort of operation do you have planned out, Machina? Machina flashes a toothy smirk. takes her marker in hand once more and confidently scribbles the words compliment carpet bombing in the center of the paper.
ユミちゃんに会ったらとにかく褒めて褒めて褒めまくるのよさ。
I don't think that's gonna work.
目と髪を褒め、服装を褒め、持っているペンを褒め。これはキャバレーの鉄則でもあるのよさ。
I, for one, think when someone is actually complimenting you too much, they have a very hidden agenda towards you. I personally only compliment people who I truly feel deserves the compliment. You would very rarely hear me compliment anyone, within the family or my friends.
えらくまた正攻法というかバカ正直というか。
女なんて褒めとけば機嫌よくなる生き物なのよさ。
Maybe that's why I'm not getting any girls. Who knows?
あんたもその生き物だって自覚ある？
But I highly doubt it.
確かにストレートですけど効きそうな作戦ですよね。
そっか？そもそも作戦ってのはもうちょっとこう交渉で難解なやつの方がいいような気もするんだけど。
こういうみちる様のようにパスタ食っとけば幸せみたいな生き物が大多数ですし、効果は十分に期待できるのではと思います。
True though, people are actually a lot more simple than they let on, Sachi.
ちょっと何よ。
That's very
パスタって
perceptive of
何
you.
よ。そりゃ好きだけど食べてる時幸せだけど。好きなんじゃん。
幸せそうですね。
Seems like there aren't any particular objections. In that case, we may as well give Makina's strategy a try.
了解。では全員私の指示に従うのよさ。
榊さん、おはようございます。
ええ。
おはよう由美子。いつ見ても綺麗な顔してるわよね。
榊さんは目が綺麗なんですよね。だから一層顔が引き立つ気がします。
ちょっと何なの？
I feel sorry for you, Yumiko. It's always Makina, man. Makina is always the one with all these absurd ideas. Jesus Christ, that girl needs to stop.
そうね。でもやっぱり私は顔全体かな。小顔だし、顎もシュッとしてるし、そういうとこがやっぱり。
I know she's not doing it out of, you know, the badness of her heart, but you know how the saying goes. I forgot how the saying goes actually. How, you know, the best of intention doesn't always bring forth something.
ですね。全体的なバランスがいいから綺麗なんでしょうね。
And it's actually worse because she's actually not doing this for the best of intentions. She's just doing this to satisfy her own selfish reasons.
制服もすごく似合ってるし、ねえ、どうやったらそういうってあれ？
榊さん？
由美子さん？
言っちゃいましたね。
あら、珍しいわね。榊さんがここにいるなんて。
Yeah, this is definitely. I did not remember seeing those bubbles on Amane's breasts before.
お、マジだ。ユミちゃんここの風呂なんか来るんだな。
Nor yours, Makina. Nor yours, Yumiko.
ねえ、ここ座っていい？
別に構わないわ。人の体を頭から足まで見て何の用かしら。
いや、改めて見ると榊さんってバランスいい体してるなって。なんか運動とかしてんの？そうでないとこの体型は維持できないよね。
That's just because these girls are 2D girls, Amane, including yourself.
だよな。マネキンってのああいう感じだよなこれ。
いいなあ。私もちょっとだけ痩せてお尻小さくなったんだけどさ、榊さんの見てるとバカらしく思えちゃうよね。どうにも。
ユミちゃんのが岡山の桃だったらアマネーのは植木のスイカだよな。
それはともかくとしていい体してるわよね。これならユージだって。あれ？ 榊さん？
やめてちょうだい。私先に出るわね。
どうしてだろう。機嫌損ねちゃったのかな。
なんだありゃ、生理か？
I don't know, Makina.
おっさんみたいなこじつけの理由つけないでよ。
Yo. No need to stalk past me without a word, is there?
別にあなたに用事もないもの。
Maybe not, but I don't think many people would take that as a valid excuse for completely brushing off your classmate.
それで何の用なの？
Nothing in particular. Just trying to be reasonably friendly myself.
だったら私は行かせていただくわ。それじゃ。
Come on, it's nothing to get angry about. Scowl like that and you're just putting your beauty to waste. God damn it, Yuji.
ちょっとあなたもあの一件に絡んでるの？
Yes. On what specifically? Can't say I know what you're talking about.
その急に何か私のことを。もういいわよ。失礼するわ。
The group's heavy sighs resound throughout the lobby.
作戦は見事失敗に終わったのよさ。
Next, our strategist mumbles an admission of defeat. We continue to stubbornly press Operation Dare until the very end, but our barrage of compliments never produced anything resembling a positive reaction. Quite the opposite, Sakaki's strengthening resistance prompted a frequent retreat. Well, I guess it's only natural that you get a little suspicious when everyone you know suddenly starts complimenting you simultaneously.
やり方がまずかったわよね。もっと自然にできたらよかったんだけど。
そうですね。フォーメーションも不自然というかミスマッチでしたし。
おっと、ここで大本営批判か。憲兵をよこすぞ。
あんたが考えなしにやったのも一因でしょうが。
後悔はせん。未来のために反省はするが。
Still though, compared to the last time we did something to Yumiko, this one is, compared to that, is pretty mild.
何格好つけてんのよ。つか反省してね。
Well, in any case, I suppose we now know that Sakaki doesn't react to this sort of flattery.
パスタで満足するタイプではなかったということですね。
だからなんでそこで私の方を見るのねえ。
And so, Operation Dare fails to produce the desired change in Sakaki Yumiko. If anything, it seems to have brought her attitude from cool down to outright chill. Okay, next day. The next day, I'm heading to Sakaki's room in order to drop off a package of hers that arrived in the group mail delivery just now. Normally, I just leave it be, but this cardboard box was large enough to protrude dangerously out of the mailbox. I've thoughtfully decided to bring it to her directly. Is Sakaki in? At this hour, she should probably be somewhere inside the dorm. There's no sign of her leaving this morning, so her room is the most likely possibility. Sakaki? It's open. The door to Sakaki's room stands slightly ajar. Sakaki is normally pretty careful about her privacy, so this is a distinctly unusual situation. Before I realize it, I'm peeking through the opening into her room. Hey, Sakaki! And in the center of that room, I'm startled to find a spectacle quite unlike anything I've ever witnessed before. Rather than looking at Yumiko, I'm actually looking at Yuji's eyes. It's so funny.
お尻ちょっと大きいかなって嫌いだったけど、そんなことなかった。制服もちょっと浮いてるかと思ってたけど。あと顔も。
Sakaki. To summarize this behavior in one phrase, out of character would be most apt. Sakaki twirls in front of a full-length mirror she's placed in the middle of her room, muttering happily to herself. She examines her features one by one, grinning broadly all the while. Run, Yuji, run! It's hard to believe this is the same Sakaki who shut down Makina's operation. Let alone the woman whose approach to social interaction cycles between disinterest, rejection, and the occasional fit of homicidal rage. Is this Dere? Muttering a foolish question to myself, I pull my right foot backward in an attempt at retreat. But the door groans on its hinges, and Sakaki spins around to face me. Mail just came. You got a big package, so I came to drop it off. I'll just leave that here.
見たの
It might be kinder to say I wasn't, but unfortunately I'm an honest man. Jesus, Yuji. Is it? Congratulations on a small butt.
そう
I see. Okay then, see you later. I close the door and break into a full arm-pumping dash away from the scene. It's not that I'm particularly afraid of Sakaki's attacks, but I don't think there are many people out there who would willingly choose to get slashed at by a box cutter. I'm certainly not one of them. Especially given the sincere promise of violence in Sakaki's eyes just now. But that's Dere, alright. No matter how slight it may be, no matter how well hidden it is, it's actually kind of pleasant to know that Sakaki does have that side to her personality. Every human being is a multifaceted creature. Seems that rule of thumb applies to Sakaki Yumiko as much as anyone else. I mean... it probably does. Sakaki's Dere earlier this morning left a strong impression, but there's no time to reflect on that spectacle. Our group trip to the beach is today. What's more, the weather is absolutely perfect for the purpose. Perhaps someone has been earning some good karma lately. As the group gathers around the principal's car in preparation for the outing, there's a definite sense of anticipation in the air. My classmates are moving around restlessly, unable to control their fidgety, nervous energy.
ねえ、このクーラーボックスはどこに積むの？
それはビーチパラソルと一緒にあまねさんの車に乗せます。
お弁当はちゃんと積んだ？
はい、大丈夫です。ちゃんとトランクの中に積みました。
トランクなんかで大丈夫なの？熱で腐ったりしない？
効果が6時間持続する保冷剤と一緒に入れてありますから問題はありません。
それじゃああとはあとは何？なんか忘れてない？
大丈夫ですよ。持ち物リストを参照しながら4回確認しましたし、出発前にもう一度最終点検を行いますから。
油断してはダメよ。いい？こういう時に限って一番大切なものを忘れてくる。言うなれば忘れ物の天才がこの私。松島。
Oh, sorry. I thought she was done.
自信たっぷりに元気よく言われましても。
Yeah, that's not something to be proud about.
なんだかんだ言って結局チルチルが一番張り切ってるのよさ。
Well, in my experience, the blondes of the world tend to see this sort of event as a good excuse to boss people around.
そこ聞こえてるわよ。
Hello there, Michiru. Tell me something. You didn't even want to go to the beach in the first place, right?
行きたくないとは一言も言ってないでしょうが。私はただ暑いのが嫌だって言っただけよ。
Well, I didn't really intend to criticize you either way. If anything, the opposite seems more appropriate. She was opposed to the idea originally, but instead of sulking over the group's decision, she's accepted it with admirable enthusiasm. I guess she's something of a flexible spirit. No, wait. Approach this from a slightly different angle, and the term simple-minded might be just as accurate.
ああ、なんか言った。
Don't mind me, I'm just talking to myself. More importantly, are you sure you have all your personal stuff? Not forgetting anything?
この私が忘れ物？とんだお笑い種だわね。
Have you already completely forgotten what you said 30 seconds ago?
いえ、みちる様のお荷物は昨夜のうちに私がご用意させていただきましたので大丈夫かと。
I see. But you see, Sachi, Michiru earned the title of Scatterbrain Queen precisely because she's capable of leaving things behind, even under such circumstances. Are you sure it's wise to have left her unsupervised?
大丈夫よ。サチに任せた私の判断にミスはないわ。
Where are your swimsuits? You do have them, right?
ああ、それならご心配なく。忘れないようにすでに服の下に着ていらっしゃいますから。
I see. Good to hear. Although that kind of sounds more like something Makina would do.
おうよ、私も下にセクシーな水着着てるのよさ。後で見してあげるのよ。
Oh, that's something to look forward to.
もうね、私のちょっと出っ張った下腹部に視線釘付けで鼻血ブーなのよ。
That irrepressible confidence of yours is a good thing. Probably.
みちる様、どうかなされましたか？
サチ、その水着のことなんだけど。
もしかしてみちる様。
Hey now, what's the matter, genius? Don't tell me your prodigious talent for forgetting things has already exhibited itself.
うるさいわね。ちょっとしたミスよ。ちょっと私寮に戻るからここで待ってなさいよ。いい、先に行ったら承知しないんだからね。
あ、みちる様、待ってください。私も行きますから。というわけですので、すみません。すぐに戻りますので。
I'm at a loss for words. I think that girl may be even worse than Makina.
もうさすがの私もあんな忘れ物会の勝ち組と比べられたくはないのよさ。
Don't worry, Makina. You and Michiru are both at the bottom of the barrel.
どうでもいいのだけれど、一体いつまで私はこの炎天下の中で待っていればいいのかしら？
It hasn't even been 10 minutes yet. 4 already? I'll get you a nice ice cream cone once you get to the beach, so try to be patient a little while longer, okay?
私を子供扱いしないでもらえる？
In that case, maybe she should try not to whine like one. But I decide that actually offering her this suggestion would be more trouble than it's worth.
あ、いいな、アイス。私も欲しいのよさ。
Alright, Makina. You've been a good girl lately. I'll buy you one later.
いちご味のやつがいいのよ。
It's all about vanilla, Makina. Very well. I drop my hand onto Makina's head in my usual manner. Well then, Sakaki, what flavor do you want?
だから子供扱いしないで。いらないわよ、アイスなんて。
どう？みんなもう準備できた？
No, afraid not. The Queen of Carelessness has returned to the dorm in search of her swimsuit, with her maid in attendance. Amane still hasn't returned with the second car either.
変ね。松島さんと小峰さんはまだしも、車を借りに行ったのなら、スオさんはもう戻ってきてもいい頃だと思うけど、何かあったのかしら。
Where's she getting a car from in the first place?
いつもの車を借りに行ったのなら、多分学園北部の資材倉庫だから、そんなに時間がかかる距離じゃないと思うけど。
Should I go check up on her?
そうね。もう少し待ってみて、それでも来なかったら様子を見に行ってみましょう。
Well, there's no real need to hurry, I suppose. The sea isn't going anywhere.
海は逃げないけれど、時間は経過するわ。私嫌よ、夜の海に入るのなんて。
I wasn't planning to wait around quite that patiently either, but it's better to approach this sort of thing with composure. Rushing tends to create more problems than it solves.
例えば？
Right, here comes a good example.
あれ？
着替えてきた。全速力でダンスした。何秒？
知るかよ。
take a look, Sakaki. His self-evidently dim-witted blonde is a perfect case in point. Desperate with the irrational fear that she'd be left behind, she clearly stopped thinking. The instant she finished changing, she burst out of her room and dashed back over here, thoroughly embarrassing herself in the process. You see, when people rush, they make stupid mistakes. Life is just full of lessons.
確かに嫌な説得力があるわね。
何よ何よ何なのよ。水着着てこいって言ったのはあんたでしょうが。っていうか私の水着姿見たんだから感想ぐらい言いなさいよ。
My thoughts? Let's see. My first real thought would be, why are you wearing a school swimsuit? But I get the feeling that might not be the most considerate thing I could say here, as a man. When a woman asks for your thoughts, compliment her. Down any other road lies trouble. Another lesson I picked up from my time with the epitome of a troublesome woman, JB. Looks good on you. Very cute.
ああそうかい。ありがとよ。
どうして怒鳴っているのこの子。
I don't fully understand myself, but I get the feeling she's being carried along by her own momentum at this point. Poor girl may already be well past the point of no return.
うるさいわね。放っておきなさいよ。とにかくこれなら水着を忘れることはないわ。
I guess not, but what happened to the street clothes you were wearing earlier? Are you for real? Sorry, but I don't think I can justify referring to you as a tsundere anymore. You're really more of a sundoofus.
つんぼけ。
You're a clown. Makina will now amuse herself at your expense. Alright, Makina. Look at this girl and chortle heartily.
ゲラゲラゲラゲラゲラゲラゲラゲラゲラゲラゲラ。屈辱。こんな屈辱は初めてだわ。
英語で言うと
Oh my god!
Your English hasn't improved either, I see.
ねえ、暑いし、私車の中で待っていてもいいかしら。
Come now. Michiru's sacrificing what little dignity she has left for our amusement. Why not enjoy her buffoonery a while longer?
いや、別に笑いを取ろうとしていたわけでは。
みちる様、お召し物。
Yes, breathe into the mic some more, Sachi. I'm enjoying that.
遅かったじゃないのよ、サチ。
みちる様が早いんですよ。
Yes, more. You're being paid for that, Sachi. Now that she mentions it, you got back here pretty quickly, considering you went all the way to the dorm.
そりゃあそうよ。何せ全力疾走したからね。飛ぶ鳥の目を抜く勢いとはこのことよ。
なんでしょう。いろいろと間違っていて軽くイラッとしますが、とりあえず服を着てください。その格好のままでは公女両族に抵触しかねません。
いちいちうるさいわね。水着なんだからいいじゃないのよ。人をわいせつ物みたいに。まったく。
まあまあ、私が着替えのお手伝いしますからね。
あんたはよ。
Even as she mutters a constant stream of complaints, Michiru takes her clothes from Sachi's hands, then obediently begins to put them on over her swimsuit. Apparently, she decided resistance would be futile.
だいたい私の格好なんておっぱい半分放り出して歩いてるアマネの普段着に比べりゃまだマシでしょうよ。
That's a fair argument coming from you, Michiru.
そういえば、あまねさんはまだいらっしゃられないのですか？
Yeah. If she doesn't show up pretty soon, I'm going to go check on her.
アマネまだなの？じゃあもういいんじゃない？無理してでも学園長の車にみんなで乗れば。
I really don't think that's going to happen. The principal's car seats 5 at most. At the very least, one of us will have to ride with Amane, and if we want a more comfortable ride, wouldn't it make more sense to have 4 people in the principal's cars and 3 in Amane's?
でもアマニーの車は2シーターなのよさ。
2-seater? A vehicle with a fixed passenger capacity of 2. So it's a sports car? They may call this place the Money Sink Academy, but it's pretty hard to imagine they'd have a flashy toy like JB's lying around in some dusty garage. In the next moment, a single white vehicle comes into view, crunching its way across the gravel on the athletic grounds toward us. Behind the wheel, of course, is Suo Amane, and the vehicle she's driving, no matter how you look at it, appears to be a small truck. That said, it's not a Type 73 Jeep or anything, just your run-of-the-mill mini pickup.
やあ、お待たせ。ごめんね。タイヤの空気圧調節してたら遅くなっちゃった。
I see. Well, that's a two-seater too, I guess. I wasn't really expecting her to pull up in a flashy sports car, but a mini truck is surprising in its own way. It's certainly well suited to carrying all our beach gear, and it's probably useful for the school to have around, but
軽トラだからと侮っちゃいけないのよ。クラス唯一のスーパーチャージャーを搭載した4気筒 SOHC エンジン。
I'm not into cars, so I don't know what the hell that means, Machina. I'm into bikes though. Not bikes, but bicycles. Hell yeah.
前輪はマクファーソンストラット、後輪はセミトレーリングアームの4輪独立剣か。
Yeah, I don't care, Machina. I'm all about bikes, rather than suspension and all that shit. Well, technically, bike do have suspension if you're going mountain biking.
フロントグリルに燦然と輝く6連星は WRC で培われたテクノロジーが惜しみなくフィードバックされた証なのよさ。
Yeah, I don't care about horsepower and all that shit, Machina. When you're riding a bike, it's all about your feet, man. Your feet, your thighs, your calves, everything here.
あとはデフロックがついてれば最高なんだけどね。
The hell is a diff lock? I'm so confused right now. The hell are you people talking about? A mini truck is a mini truck, right? But even as I'm silently belittling the squat little vehicle, something catches my eye. Michiru, her change of clothes complete, is standing stock still at my side. Her teeth are chattering violently.
来た。悪魔の4バーが来た。
The sambar from hell? I don't get it. For a vehicle from hell, it looks an awful lot like your average Nubaru Yanbar. I'm supposing that's a Subaru something? The body's still like new, so I'm having a hard time picturing it as a cursed vehicle whose previous owners died mysterious deaths.
で、誰が乗るの？
But when Amani asks for a companion, there's no immediate volunteer. The others exchange silent looks. What's wrong? Why is everyone avoiding eye contact with Amani?
いや、私は乗らないわよ。誰か他の人が乗りなさいな。
私も遠慮させてもらうわ。学園長、同乗させていただいて構わないかしら。
それは構いませんけど。
ちょっとこら！何勝手に乗り込んでんのよ。まだ誰が何に乗るか決まってないでしょ。失礼ね。そんなに私の横に乗るのが嫌なの？当たり前でしょ。前に私、あんたの運転するこの車の荷台で死ぬ目にあったのよ。
Hey Sachi, tell me, is Amane an irredeemably terrible driver?
いいえ、私は乗ったことないですけど、マキちゃんからはとても運転が上手だと聞いていますよ。
That a fact?
アマネはお家の仕事の手伝いで毎朝市場まで野菜とかお魚を買いに行く仕事をしていたから、とっても運転が上手なのよ。
In that case, why has all the color drained from Michiru's face at the mere thought of riding with her?
そりゃ車が苦手な子もいるのよさ。私、今日はチズチズの車がいい。椅子がふかふかしてるし。
Well, it makes sense to have the smaller people sit in the vehicle that has to seat 5 of us. Alright, Makina and Sachi, go ahead and get in the principal's car.
何勝手に決めてるのよ。私はアマネの隣は嫌よ。どっちでもいいからさっさと決めちゃってよ。
How on earth does Imani drive to inspire such a violent rejection? I don't get it, but there's a siren going off in my mind. My cowardly instinct for self-preservation is screaming, "Don't get in that truck." I see. Alright, let's decide this with a nice impartial rock-paper-scissors match. That way, nobody's left with any hard feelings.
あんたずるしないでしょうね。
Don't be ridiculous. Alright, here goes. Rock. Is it already 7 o'clock? Wow, it is. Give me a sec while I turn off the nightlight here on my PC. Wow, it's actually already 7 o'clock. I have no idea what just short-circuited in Michiru's brain, but the instant the word rock was out of the mouth, she vigorously threw out scissors. I was just doing the rock, paper, scissors part. What are you jumping the gun for?
しかも負けてるし。はあ、バカな。そんな。こりゃもうあんたの反則負けね、みちる。観念して私の隣に乗りなさいな。いやー、嘘でしょ。3回勝負よね。3回勝負でしょ。ジタバタしないの。あんたユージより軽いし、あんたが乗った方が運転しやすいから。ほら、おいで。いやー、引っ張らないで。死んじゃう。今度こそ死んじゃう。
I feel your pain, no Michiru. I have a friend who drives like Amane, though I'm not gonna spoil yet. So I understand your pain and your fear.
平気平気。今度は荷台じゃなくて助手席だから。ちゃんとベルトしとけばもう落っこちたりしないわよ。ほら、行くよ。
She fell off the back of the truck? At that moment, I thought I understood the nature of Michiru's trauma, but I was still badly underestimating the full terror of Amane's driving. I would come to understand the truth later that day. A little while into a pleasant journey to the beach, our two-vehicle convoy was weaving its way down a winding coastal road.
いやー、いい天気だね。絶好の海水浴日和じゃない？ねえ、みちる。あんた日焼け止めしてきた？今のうちにしておかないと窓側の腕だけ日焼けするよ。うるさいわね。おとなしく前見て運転しなさいよ。そんな必死に捕まらなくたって大丈夫よ。今日は学園長の車も一緒だし、のんびり走ってるじゃない。
But just then, a flashy sports car roars noisily up behind Amane's mini truck and begins to tailgate.
なんか元気なのが来ちゃったな。うざいから道譲っちゃおうか。そうしよう。それがいいわ。相手にしちゃダメよ。いい？わかってるわよ。
As Amane flips on her turn signal and begins to pull over to the left, the sports car instantly pushes its way past her truck on the right, flashing its hazard lights in greeting. But rather than pulling back into its lane, the sports car continues to power its way forward on the wrong side of the road, jumping past the principal's car as well. The car pushes its way sharply in front of the principal just as she's about to round a curve. She's forced to jam on the brakes hard enough to send up white smoke from her tires, leaving her car shaking unsteadily from side to side.
鬱陶しいから一気に抜きたかったんだろうけど、むちゃくちゃだな。ああいう子ってさ、自分が下手くそだってことに気がついてないんだね。そうね。車は安全運転が一番よね。ねえ、みちる。ああいう子には、あんた下手くそだよって誰かが教えてあげた方がいいよね。
Not really, Amane.
は？ちょっと、あまね、やめてよ。何する気？だから教育？あんまおちょけとると死んでまうぞって教えてあげなきゃ。やめてよ。ちょっとだけだってば。ね？
Not waiting for a response, Amane steps on the clutch and begins to downshift. While giving the truck a little gas, she smoothly drops from 5th gear to 4th, then to 3rd. In the next instant, she mashes down on the accelerator. Down to 3rd and then to... what the? I don't know how cars work in Japan, but how it works in Indo is that you go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 if you want to go faster.
いくぞー！そーれ！
The whine of the supercharger grows all the more shrill. The 4-cylinder SOHC engine screams in protest, and the Sambar savagely accelerates as if stung by a whip.
やめてー！うるさいな。いいからほら、しっかり踏ん張ってないと頭でサイドウィンドウ割っちゃうよ。
The sambar quickly flies past the principal's car, the needle of the RPM gauge mounted at the base of the A-pillar soaring into the red zone within seconds.
ほら見えた 1800cc のタボ突き転がしといてケットラに追いつかれちゃダメじゃんねえ
じゃないわよ。やめてって言ってるでしょ。追いついて何する気よ。
ケットラにお尻つっつかれればへこむかと思ったんだけど、あらら県外ナンバーか。譲ってくれる気はないみたいだし抜いちゃおうか。
ちょっと抜くって嘘でしょ。
この先の直線で横に出るよ。
Michiru's piteous, is that how you say that word? Piteous? Piteous? I don't know how to say that word. Heart-rending screams fall on deaf ears. As soon as she reaches the straightaway, Amane jams the accelerator to the floor. The white mini truck accelerates like a bat out of hell, squeezing every drop of power from its engine. Its tires clawing at the hot asphalt, the sambar surges forward. With the advantage of its light frame, Amane's truck smoothly pushes its way alongside the sports car in the blink of an eye. And running side by side, the two vehicles rush toward the hairpin curve at the end of the straightaway.
突っ張るじゃん。でもいいのかな。この先のヘアピンそのスピードで突っ込んだら死ぬぞ。
嘘やめてよ。
平気平気任しときなって。こっちのが車重は軽いんだし負けないから。
負ける負けないの話してないよね。
ほらビビってアクセル抜いた。ダメじゃんもっと突っ張れよ。
ちょっとブレーキ。
はあ、ある程度速度乗ってないとコーナーの途中で失速しちゃうよ。クリップはもっと奥に取ってここ。2足に放り込みながらブレーキで姿勢作ったらアングル決めてあとはベタ踏み。あらら参ったな。リアがリフトして跳ねちゃってるよ。このフロントヘビーはなんとかならないのかな。ちょっとみちるあんた降りて荷台に乗りなさいよ。
無茶言わないでっていうかやめて。横向いてるって突っ込んじゃう。下ろして。
平気だって。
In a striking contrast to Amane's carefree, almost bored tone of voice, the guardrail draws steadily closer outside Michiru's passenger seat window.
落ちる落ちる。
だから平気だってば。アクセル踏んでるうちはちゃんと曲がってくから。ここでビビってアクセル抜いたらそれこそ落っこちるわよ。ほら出口が見えた。あらよっと。おっと立ち上がりで痛恨のシフトミス。かっちょ悪い。
落ちなかった。奇跡。
大丈夫だって言ってんじゃん。一度姿勢作ってアングル決めたらあとはハンドルから手を離しても勝手に曲がってくんだからさ。見てて。じゃあもう一回やるね。
やるな。
ほらほら見てね。ほらほら
本当に手を離すな。このドアホ。ちゃんと前見て運転しろ。
もうこの時点で自分が進んでく方向は見えてるし、進入ミスでライン外して落っこちるときはコーナー入った瞬間にわかるから心配しなくても落ちる前にちゃんと落ちるよって言うわよ。
うるせえ。
ちょっとやだみちる。あんた泣いてんの。
The sambar from hell, that white devil is no myth. And Amane, manipulating that demon as though it were an extension of her limbs, makes her way to the beach, burning not only gallons of gasoline, but years of Michiru's life. When our group arrives at the beach by means of the principal's safe, steady driving, we find the two of them waiting for us, their faces as steady in contrasts. On one hand, Amane sticks her tongue playfully out of her mouth toward us, as if to say, I kinda overdid it, tee-hee. And on the other hand, Michiru stands gazing into the distance with unfocused eyes, looking like the very picture of the Buddhist, enlightened soul, as if nothing this world has to offer could ever frighten her again. From my perspective in the principal's car, Amane's sudden acceleration had been a bit of a surprise. But we lost sight of her car almost immediately, so the incident didn't leave that strong an impression at the time. But when Michiru whispered those hoarse, toneless words, I understood that she had known hell, and would forever bear the scars to prove it. Some people might seem to see that scene and be like, oh my god, Amane is a badass. But as someone who knows someone that drives the same way as Amane, I can 100% tell you what Amane did was 100% egotistical and overconfident, and that is not something you should ever do when you are driving with someone. If you're driving alone, I don't care. You can die alone. And that's fine with me. But if you're driving with someone, someone's life is on the line. And yeah, when you die, don't drag other people with you. Just do it alone, okay? Just my 2 cents on that. But I think I'm gonna end the episode right here. I'm just gonna take a short break, make some protein ice cream, and I'm probably gonna make another episode. Sadly though, like I said, I am banned from uploading for a week. So next week is gonna be 0 uploads. Well, technically for you guys, it's gonna be the previous week. Once this video is uploaded, I basically can already upload videos again.
セーブしますか?
But yeah, Patreon link is in this description. I do appreciate the support because YouTube, as it is, definitely is not going to be kind on my channel. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in a bit. Peace out.